Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hot 97 News. This is a brand new live news show where we talk about all the biggest stories across the country. It is Wednesday, February 4th, and I'm your host, Lana Harris, here with Rondell with two N's.
What's happening?
And Million.
Hey.
And it is still Black History Month.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So we get to start the show off talking about us.
Yeah.
So here is Rondell with two N's with 1 minute of Black excellence.
Yes, 1 minute of Black excellence. So today's fact is Fritz Pollard was the first Black head coach in NFL's history in 1920. And he wasn't just a coach, he was playing at the same time, all right? And he also led the Akron Pros to the league's first championship. Then the NFL said, hey, let's not do that again, all right? And they quietly shut out Black players for years. Pollard won the championship and unlocked the hardest difficulty setting on Madden, all right? And that is your 1 minute of Black excellence.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, shout out to Fritz Pollard, man, being the first Black head coach and player. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's wild.
You know what? It's even crazier just how much strife Black people have had in sports in general. Like,
Yeah.
y'all just don't let people play. Who cares?
Well, they knew how good we were, and then they said they were like, "Yeah,
Wait a minute.
We made this sport for us." All right, that's how they did with pickleball, and then Black people found it. Now it's about to be over with. You know what I mean?
Listen, you know what? It probably does suck when you feel like, okay, I made this, and then you know when you introduce somebody to something, and then they get better at you than that.
100%.
Oh yeah. So I kind of get it.
Dang,
Shout
that's
out to
crazy.
Fritz, man. Shout out to Fritz.
We
Yeah.
legit take over every sport now that I think about it. I was like, golf, they probably still got it, but golf, we got Tiger Woods. Tennis, we got Serena, Venus,
Coco.
Coco.
Yeah.
Like, we be eating them up.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
They don't get nothing.
Nothing.
We coming for NASCAR next. That's what we got.
We got Lewis Hamilton, F1. What do you mean?
Dang, we everywhere. We everywhere.
We all over the place, brother. Huh?
No, ice hockey.
There's a few Black people in ice hockey that are good.
Yeah.
You know any of them?
Got Donald Young pickleball. You know what I mean? We got a few. It's a lot of us out there. Don't,
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
ice hockey.
but I'll look one up.
That'll be a fun fact one of these days.
I'll find one.
Oh, man. Well, getting into the news, the Republicans did it. They got the government reopened without the Democrats, who all voted against it. Remember, this is the spending package that the Department of Homeland Security, the DHS funding, was taken out of. The compromise was to only fund that, DHS, for 2 weeks so lawmakers could renegotiate some ICE reforms. But the rest of the spending package did have bipartisan support. The House Democrats just voted no because they didn't have a guarantee that after 2 weeks, Republicans would actually agree on ICE reforms. They just agreed to talk about it. But they were also joined by one Republican, Thomas Massey. He was the lone Republican who voted no. And Thomas Massey actually hopped on X and said, yeah, I did it. I voted no. And he actually went into detail about what's in the spending package that some people may not actually know about. So we have a few of the screenshots, and he actually, if you go onto his Twitter or his X page, he actually gave you another screenshot of the bill, like what was in the language of it, if you want to go look this up yourself. But here it is. If you go back to the other screen, $5 billion to provide cash benefits, healthcare, daycare, and job programs to refugees on the taxpayer's dime. $315 million to fund the CIA's branch of the State Department that propagandizes and destabilizes the globe and has a particular interest in censorship and attacking conservative media outlets. $3.3 billion to Israel. Oh, and an extra $500 million for Israel. Those were kind of defense and military finance program related. And then you had $1.5 billion for Egypt. Got to make sure we cover both sides of the Suez, he says. Can't let the Jordanians feel left out with $2.1 billion to them. Nearly $700 million for foreign HIV/AIDS funding, and that is certainly what he says he thinks about when buying groceries back home in Kentucky. And we have what he says they refused to look into, which was his amendment to prevent the government from installing a kill switch in your personal vehicles, which we talked about here. His amendment to freeze the funds for daycare fraud. His amendment to stop warrantless surveillance of Americans via loopholes in the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. He had his amendment to end the propagandizing of U.S. citizens by the State Department and the U.S. Agency for Global Media. Blocked was also his amendment to stop the creation of central bank digital currencies that will be used for financial surveillance and control of your wallet. And most importantly, he feels the inclusion of the SAVE Act, which he says was supposed to be to protect our elections from illegal aliens, a top priority for conservatives.
Dang. So they were just giving money out like Oprah for a while. They was like about to start just giving money out like Oprah. He was like, nah,
Literally.
no, we not finna do that.
Oh, no, though they did.
Oh, that's what they did.
They did.
I thought that
I thought
he signed that to block that.
That's what he tried to
do.
block.
Okay,
right,
got
correct.
you,
He
got you,
voted
got
no.
you.
He was the only Republican who voted no.
Got you.
And everybody was saying, oh my God. And because he got a lot of flack for that. Like, if you look at his comment section, there are a lot of conservatives who are not happy with him right now. And they're saying, you may as well just switch parties. You're a traitor. How could you do this? Because Republicans were supposed to stand together to reopen this. They could only lose like one vote, you know, and otherwise it was going to fail. And he was that one vote. So they feel like, you know, he went against the party, but that's why he put out a list of like, this is what they decided to do. And this is what I was hoping they would do. And a lot of it, he feels like were very conservative things that he feels like the conservative party traditionally wants to see. And he was like, well, why aren't we talking about this kind of stuff? And why are we giving so much money away?
Yeah.
Right. I think it's safe to say that our government officials have been compromised by Egypt or something. Maybe. Or other countries. I'm not going to say any specific names at all.
But shout out Egypt.
Real
Shout out to Egypt.
real quick.
Who got less money.
But who else would I say? Who else would I possibly shout out? I don't know. You tell me, Lana.
You the one who said it.
Oh,
What?
okay. All right. I was just saying, I mean, I seen Egypt get all that money. So, you know, why are we giving so much money to Egypt? What's going on, Egypt? What's
We
going
also
on, politicians?
gave a lot of money to Israel
Yeah, they got
and
$3
to Jordan.
They got
I
$3
missed
billion.
that. I missed that.
$3 billion,
Did you
300 million.
actually?
I missed that. Right?
$3.3 billion. They got the most money and then an extra $500 million.
Yeah, so shout out to Israel. Like, like what?
Chill. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Literally, I mean, I'm just going by what you said.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
I said Egypt. I was going for maybe even Jordan next. I wasn't thinking about Israel.
Oh, my bad. So they only they're only giving them a 2-week trial run on this. This is
So all that has been decided.
okay.
The only thing that's not decided in this funding package here is the DHS funding. And that was because DHS funding has ICE funding locked within it because ICE is under DHS. And they're trying to say, hey, we would like to talk about some ICE reforms, the body cams, taking the masks off,
100%.
not doing the roving patrols anymore. We're going to renegotiate that part. So that is what separated that out. But that's why he was saying, like, this is not good enough for me, not because of the ICE stuff, but for the rest of this stuff. This is all of what's in the funding package that they agreed on. The government is in debt. We're like $38 trillion in debt. Why is our money going to Israel, Egypt, and Jordan for their defense spending? Now, the answer to that, if you probably ask the U.S., is that these are our allies. These are our military partners. We need them to be strong. If they're strong, we're strong. You know, we're in allegiances, and it is what it is. But at the same time, there's an argument to be made, which is what Thomas Massey was kind of saying here is, we got problems here.
Yeah.
Grocery prices are high here. What is all this $3 billion, $2 million, $1 billion going out to other countries for when we could spend this stuff right here?
And ain't we in debt though?
Yes.
Like, ain't we in $1 trillion of debt?
Trillions.
So where this money coming from, bro? You talking about $3.3 billion given to Israel? Why have you paying some of this debt off? Because if y'all don't start paying this debt off, I ain't gonna start paying mine off. And now what? We all in trouble. Now what? Now everybody in trouble. now we all sitting here with our hands up like this, like, oh no, what am I? Like, bruh, $300 million is crazy. When, just like you said, there's people here in America that still need help. The homeless still need places to stay. People still can't eat. SNAP benefits, there's so many things going on here. Fix your own house first before you try to go fix somebody else's house. We can't go make everybody great. Y'all want to make America great again, but yet you trying to make other countries great again. What are we talking about? Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. Yeah, we got to stop giving money away to to Egypt. My bad. We got to stop giving money away to Egypt. We can't keep doing that, bro. Egypt, what's going on? You know?
Wait, why? What's the thing with Egypt? I'm
Oh,
confused.
in the comments, we see you guys. You guys got some theories. It's saying U.S. pays Egypt to contribute to the cover-up of the real technology behind the pyramids.
Ah, that's a good one.
That's funny.
That's a good
I feel
one.
like we were actually just talking about the pyramids the other day,
We were
actually.
just talking about the
What are the
pyramids
odds?
the other day.
You guys are saying a lot of money has to go to Israel. Happy about there being no more government shutdown. So, a lot of us are just looking at this and we look at the economy and we see that, houses are really hard to afford. Groceries are disrespectfully high. I mean, it's like, how are our taxpayer dollars just going to the military and defense spending? And why are we constantly like just poking on other countries and starting not wars, but situations that could be considered war if you're looking at the death involved of it? You know what I mean? Like, what do you call it when two countries are adversaries or in some kind of conflict and one country starts killing the people of the other country? Not war, because we're not at war. We're just killing people. That's what we've said about Venezuela and a lot of other conflicts. So
correct me if I'm wrong though,
Yeah.
with this whole entire with the DHS funding bill that's going on. A lot of Democrats actually was like voted against it, if I'm correct, because
All of
they
them.
were
Yep.
they
In the
were,
House.
so they were basically saying that they're voting against it because they didn't have any clause that actually in the bill saying that enforces the Republicans to actually do reform when they do have to revisit it. So technically speaking, the Republicans don't necessarily have to talk about reform when in the next 2 weeks. They just have to talk about the funding. Is that correct?
they really don't have to do anything. The reason why the House Democrats were saying none of us are voting for this is because they're essentially saying we agreed to negotiate. But at the end of that 2-week period, there's a real chance nothing comes of it. The Republicans don't agree to any reforms, and the conversation just becomes just open the government.
Right.
Why are you guys going to have the government shut down again because of this? It's fine. We're working on it. You guys are being dramatic about ICE. They didn't get any guarantees that any reform was going to come up from it, just that they were going to talk about it. So, exactly.
So technically speaking, I mean, in 2 weeks, we could still be in a shutdown.
We could be right back here.
We could be right in the same position. And because the Republicans control majority of the House, if they all agree to just pass the bill saying, hey, we're just going to fund ICE anyway, there's no reform that could possibly happen. So this was kind of like almost like unimportant, really.
I would say that they considered it a win because the Senate Democrats and the president, Trump, they all talked about it to get to the consensus that even let it go to the House. So the Senate, it starts there, at least it started here this time, and then it went over to the House. Technically it started in the House, but then the man died, the protester died in Minnesota, and the Senate Democrats got hold of it and said, hey, we are not going to vote to keep the government open. We're not going to vote on this spending package unless we take DHS funding out and talk about how we get ICE under control. They've gone too far. They need some guardrails. And that's what they ended up working with Trump on. It's to say, okay, we will take the DHS funding out. You guys approve that, send it back over to the House. Now the House has to approve it to go to the president's desk for him to sign it and for it to be a thing, government shutdown averted. So the Democrats were saying when it got to the House, we're not voting on this at all because we don't believe you guys are going to actually be serious. There's nothing to enforce you guys to say we will put in guardrails for ICE. We just have to talk about it. So none of us are voting on it, which is why they needed all the Republicans to support it, which is why people were calling Thomas Massie a traitor for not supporting it, which is why he told y'all what they plan to spend the money on.
I respect him for being transparent, though.
Yeah.
I respect the transparency. Like, look, y'all can hate me, but like, this is what they doing.
Yeah.
Like, please, don't hate me. Just read. Now,
Yeah.
would you want this? Do you want this? Like, so I respect that transparency for sure.
Because I know that not everybody will agree with some of the things he wanted to do or didn't want to do, or the things that he thought it was crazy to spend money on. But maybe you think, okay, it's great that we spend money on that. It's not about whether or not you agree. It's that what kind of my argument was from the beginning, which is we're all looking at DHS. What else are they agreeing to that has the bipartisan support that's not really getting a lot of attention right now? And when you have a government that's in debt and you have people who are struggling here, it is hard to watch billions and billions and billions of dollars go to other countries when we could use it really here.
Right. Yeah, we got to look into that. We can't keep funding Egypt. We just can't. We just can't.
What
We
is
just
it?
can't.
What is your beef with
Yeah,
Egypt?
what's the beef?
Specifically?
Yeah, what?
Who else would I have to beef about? Who else would I have to beef on? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm not gonna say anything.
I wish you would, because I am perplexed. I'm getting really good at this, and you lost me. You really lost me on this one.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, if you ask the U.S., the answer legitimately is just national security. This is our foreign policy. These are our regional partners there in the Middle East. We need them to make sure that they can defend themselves. We need to make sure that they can beef up their, military and their defense and whatnot. And that it just is what it is. You know what I mean? They need the money. We got the money. We don't have the money, but apparently we got the money, and we're going to send it to them. And is what it is. Yeah. I can say that the U.S. and Iran are apparently going to try to talk it out on Friday, even though things were looking like they were about to get a little hot out there.
It was.
If you didn't know, the U.S. forces shot down an Iranian drone because they were saying it aggressively approached an American aircraft carrier in the Arabian Sea where they are on Tuesday. And I actually found some video, which I thought was really interesting, only because every time I say armada when I'm talking about this with my friends or aircraft carriers, people don't really know what I mean. So this is not a live video of the situation right now in the Middle East. This is just some stock video that I found that gives you an example of what an aircraft carrier is. It's literally something that can carry aircrafts. It's huge. It's a warship. So this is kind of the situation in the Middle East right now. And as far as this scenario, the ship was approximately 500 miles from the Iranian coast, and officials say that drone approached them with unclear intent. So a stealth fighter jet took off from the warship out there, from the aircraft carrier out there, and shot down the drone in self-defense to protect the aircraft carrier and its personnel. Nobody was hurt. They didn't have any, it was unmanned. So, there's no casualties here. And the U.S. didn't have any equipment damaged or anything. But there were also claims that there was what was it? It was something else. There was a U.S. ship of some sort. Yes, there was I just found it in my notes. The Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, targeted a U.S. flagged, U.S. crewed merchant vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. And apparently the Central Command out there was saying that 2 boats and a drone approached that ship at a high speed and threatened to board it and seize the tanker. So then a U.S. guided missile destroyer pulled up and escorted that, with the Air Force providing air support so that tanker could proceed safely. But people are looking at this stuff and being like, all right, what's going on out here?
Yeah, it looks intense, but it's not. They sent a drone. We sent a jet to go shoot down the drone. Like, it's not a comparison out here. You know what I'm saying? We don't have much to worry about.
So NBC News cited the Tasnim news agency, which said that they have an informed source who said that drone was just out there carrying out a routine and lawful mission in international waters. They were engaged in recon, monitoring, and imaging, which is considered a normal and legal activity. Again, the U.S. said, y'all were coming in a little too hot, too far, too fast. We didn't know what your intent was, so we shot it down.
Hey, you got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, bro. You got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I respect it. You got to stay ready.
Was you getting a little too close
Yeah.
over here?
We don't know what kind of intentions y'all got, bro.
Right. And it is what it is. So there are still talks scheduled, even with all of that and the uncertainties of what's happening in the water. Iran's president actually posted on X saying that they are down to talk. They said, in response to the request of friendly governments in the region to reply to the proposal of the president of the United States for negotiations, I have instructed the foreign minister that should an appropriate atmosphere free from threats and far from unreasonable expectations exist, he should prepare the ground for fair and equitable negotiations based on the principle of dignity, wisdom, and expediency within the framework of national interest. So that says to me, people who were in the region, other governments in the region, were asking them, hey, please respond to the United States and try to work something out, try to negotiate with them. So they've already said that if this gets hot for them, that's going to explode into a regional war. Mm-hmm. So, of course, everybody in the region is like, can you please try to work this out as best you can? And they've ended up deciding that they were going to do this in Oman. There were different countries that had offered up their land to basically do this on, and Turkey was in the conversation. But Iran reportedly requested to go to Amman instead of Turkey, so that's where it's going to happen. And I think that it's mostly interesting because when you see him messaging about wanting to do this with dignity and respect and all that, just positive words, things that make them sound like they are trying to be honorable and admirable and noble in this process, you just don't know if that's real or not. Because you got some people saying that these people are evil and oppressive and President Trump, please come save us. Other people are saying, the United States is about to start a whole war for no reason other than their own interests.
Yeah, I get it. But like at one point in time, Iran was making threats to us, and they was talking real tough and really big. What lowered your tone? That's how I view it as. I see it as they seen that we were actually about that action, and we kind of lowered their tone. They showed a little bit more respect. Like, okay, we recognize y'all as the big dogs. We recognize y'all as the big dogs, and let's just choose diplomacy. Let's do that now because you just shot down one of our drones. Let's just choose diplomacy, please. I see what you can do.
To your point, I do think that the fact that nuclear talks are even happening right now is because they see the pressure right off the coast. Like they're a couple hundred miles off the coast. The fleet, the whole armada is right there. It's a bigger one than they sent to Venezuela. And there was a huge one around Venezuela. I wish I would have remembered this and I would have shown you what all they had. But they had a lot. They had like 15,000 troops outside of Venezuela. They had a lot. So I can show you, though, another tweet from the president, another ex-post from the president, said, if the people of Iran face hardship and difficulties in their lives, one of the main reasons for it is the long-standing enmity and inhumane sanctions imposed by the United States government and its allies. Any aggression against the supreme leader of our country is tantamount to all-out war against the Iranian nation. I took that to mean, and this is January 18th. This was, a couple days ago, it was before all of this. But he's saying, like, this is the situation we're in is kind of the United States' fault. The Treasury Secretary, I played his sound. He straight up said, yes, we helped this happen. Scott Bessent said, the Trump directed me to really put the pressure on the economy, and it worked. The banks failed. The dollar, their real failed, and people started protesting. Things are going great. That was the plan for them. So there's merit to what he's saying. But to the last part of the anything should happen to our president, it's going to be an all-out war. They just saw them kidnap a president.
Yeah.
Flash capture a president, whatever word you want to say. So they're thinking like this could get hot for us for real too.
Yeah. Like I said, it lowered their tone. And for them to sit here and make it seem like it was America that did all this, I just can't get behind that completely because I've seen multiple different reports of how the Iranian government handles their citizens when they start to rebel or protest. Thousands of people being killed, unalived. It's just like, I can't really take it as you just putting the blame on another country because the way you handle it, of course you're going to have interference from other countries. We get it all the time. But the way you handle those people in your country says a lot also. So I can't sit here and make it seem like it's all America's fault. Even if we were out there, the way they killed these people, I don't agree with.
How did they kill?
Killed.
Oh, okay.
Because again, we still have those multiple different reports. The latest one I've seen was about 30,000 people being killed in the protest. But again, that's just the latest report. It's there's no actual backing behind that. But the fact that I'm hearing multiple different reports of people dying by the masses is kind of shady to me.
Their government says that there's been 3,000 plus people die. Other people have said 6,000 adjacent numbers. Other people have said 30 to 40,000 people died in those protests. So the numbers truly were all over the place. I still haven't seen an updated count. But 3,000, as we were talking about, would still be more than our 9/11 incident. So it's still a lot of people that's very consequential out there. But, you got to now talk to people who they claim are responsible. Because if you say we helped start the protests in general, kind of becomes more plausible to me that you also might have started doing something within those protests as well. We don't know who it was, because we don't know.
Yeah,
but they say that there's paid protesters here, there's paid aggravators here. Is the same thing happening over there? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye out on it for sure. But,
we shall. But moving here closer to home, man, we're gonna give you a little update on the Epstein files because we care about this. Even if nobody else wants to care about this and just let these people off the loose, we're not. So this is actually a crazy update that I know nobody saw coming. There is a new CBS News contributor who's reportedly all over the Epstein files. And I'm saying he was brought in to be the new contributor on January 27th. And by the 30th, surprise, he is reportedly in the files more than 1,700 times.
1,700?
1,700 times, according to the report. So we're talking about Peter Attia, and he's actually an MD. So this is somebody who, you know, is not nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
Has some intelligence to him, has some degrees behind him. And there were reportedly a lot of messages that looked very bad, including crude and tasteless messages with him and Jeffrey Epstein. And there was a email apparently where Attia jokes about.
Yeah, how do you say it? Say it the right way.
The female
Bottom half.
You know what makes one a female.
Yes.
We've got certain situations.
Be careful with that. What makes someone a female?
All right.
Let me stop playing.
All right.
But you get it.
The joke was that they were low carb.
Yeah.
And so he also had an email exchange that said that the biggest problem with becoming friends with Jeffrey Epstein, it was that his life was just so outrageous and yet he can't tell a soul. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Now, what does that mean?
Because what can't you tell us?
Now, according to him, he says that it just looked wrong. We have a little piece of what he said on X about this, and he was basically saying, like, I was not involved in any criminal activity. My interactions with Epstein had nothing to do with what he is accused of. I was never on his plane, never went to his island, never present at any sex parties, but he's just sorry that he put himself in the position that it looks like it looks to the rest of us. So now CBS is trying to figure out what to do. Do we let him go? Do we not? So it's still a mess, and we're going to have our eye on it. But we do have to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back.
A major move today. Hot 97 is expanding.
Hot 97 has launched a full streaming television channel.
Hot 97 is no longer just a radio station, it's now a streaming network.
Welcome to Hot 97 News. Let's dive into the news because the news has been newsing.
Hot 97 Mornings with Merrill. We got Shiny Culture in the building. Leah Bell in the building.
Good morning.
And DJ Cass One.
You know what it is. You know how I get down with the Funk Flex energy, baby.
Let's get it, Flex.
Nobody don't want no smoke.
Wow, it got spicy real fast. Here for it all.
We're here for it all.
Let's go. Mariah Carey takeover.
The people made it happen.
Yeah.
I'm coming around to all the classrooms and we turning up.
Good morning, students. My name is Wale. Aren't you supposed to be in class?
Wale, where are you supposed to be?
Wale, you supposed to be in class, man.
Rihanna has become a true worldwide icon.
Congratulations on the job. We listen to Hot 97 every day. We can't wait to hear you guys even more.
Hey, let's go!
Get ready. The legend is on your screen. Funk Flex, the man who defines hip-hop, is bringing the heat from the radio booth to your TV.
Where's my camera at? That's my camera? All right.
The biggest beats, the hottest freestyles, and that classic Flex energy.
Bars are back.
Now in your living room. Don't just hear it, watch the movement. Funk Flex, now on Hot 97 TV, Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m.
Welcome to Hot 97 News Atlanta. We're here with Rondell with 2 N's.
What they do? Give it up to you.
And Million.
Hey, the fact that this is a reality.
Brand new live news show. I'm your host, Lana Harris. There is so much going on in this country and in this world.
Civil unrest. Nobody's going to trust that any of
This sounds, like I said, it sounds good.
Yeah.
It does sound beneficial.
Welcome back to Hot 97 News. When we left you before the commercial break, we were talking about that new CBS contributor who was just shown to be all up in those Epstein files days after he was brought in to be that new contributor. So you know management is like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Scrambling. HR, I mean, not HR, the publicists over there are probably going crazy right now, trying to scrape this up under the rug, bro, or at least trying to fix it.
Yeah.
It's probably going nuts right now.
Listen, because I think that, there was a whole effort to not be woke and not let cancel culture just cancel people. But at the same time, if I know that I was in really good with Epstein and I know these files are dropping, like, I don't even know what I would do right now. Like, I'm so happy I'm alive now and not alive and like in circles back then. Because I feel like anybody who is like in that generation plausibly could have been in these circles if they were rich or famous or anything and could have just gone to a party.
On accident.
Yeah.
Real talk. What I'm seeing is that Epstein was kind of like the cool kid amongst people. He was like almost upper echelon. Like everybody wanted to go to his house. Everybody wanted to party with Epstein. And in that, you hear that there's, girls, like you said, music, it's gonna be live. You're gonna have a good time.
You're gonna have a good time.
But then you don't even know that, hey, these are young girls. And then these are illegal drugs or whatever else is there. It's a mess. It's crazy. Like,
they knew.
You think so?
Let's be real.
You think a lot? Because I think a lot of people maybe didn't, but a lot of people must have.
I think a lot of people for sure knew, and they just was like, I don't care. That just goes back to the point of once you get that type of money, you're already sick. Now you have the money to be sick and rich. There's no way. And here's the thing. This is just all of me. I'm saying this. This might be wrong, might be right. I don't know. This is just my theory. I think that they all knew. I think they went over there. They knew that those women were underage. I think they knew that, the drugs that they were doing were getting shipped in from wherever. I think they knew all of this. Did they care? No, because they had the money to erase it. Yeah. They had the money to not get in trouble from it. So when you're doing those type of things and you got all the money in the world, you don't care about getting in trouble because you know that trouble was never going to come knocking at your door. And if it does, you hand them a check.
Now, is it possible that like billionaires may be on drugs and just wanting to have a good time? Because I heard Elon Musk in his emails that he mentioned, he was like, I just need to decompress. I need to relax when he was sending the alleged emails over to Epstein. I just need to relax, decompress. Maybe they're on drugs or they're already arriving to the island on drugs and not really able to see that the girls are underage or something like that. And then once you do find out, once you wake up from whatever happened, you find out that the girls are on drugs. Now it's like, dang, he has all this information on me. It's like, I kind of have to maintain this in order to still be in his good graces. Maybe. I don't know. Because I see that with Diddy, because people was waking up with Diddy because it was on drugs and didn't know that they was with Diddy.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like one of those things. And then they kept on going and kept on doing it because he had all this dirt on them.
It would be interesting actually if they were in situations where they were like just drugged out of their mind and either knew it or didn't know it, but woke up the next day and all of a sudden I got pictures of you with do, and now, I pretty much own you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what the accusations have been. Of course, the Justice Department has said he doesn't have any clients. Nobody's going to jail. That's what I think is just the most strange thing about all of this and why people aren't more concerned about this. Because a lot of the sentiment I'm seeing is like, why are we still talking about the Epstein files? What do you mean we're talking? Like, why are we still talking about the fact that the richest freaking people among us and the people potentially in governments here and across the world are potentially doing things to children? And somebody went down for sex trafficking. 2 people go down for sex trafficking, and they have no clients. They were sex trafficking to nobody.
Yeah.
You got all these files and nobody's going to jail. You haven't seen anything that implicates anybody. Yet you're still trying to have the Clintons come and testify about what they know, even though you said, this is a case closed situation. Then I hope you bring in Trump, who's all over the files. I hope you bring in Elon Musk. I hope you bring in all these people. Bring in Bill Gates. You had Melinda Gates. I don't know if you saw her, but she was basically doing an interview saying, I divorced him for a reason and a lot of things were happening that I just wasn't happy about. Right. And it's like, are all these people going to come in and testify? Because how is nobody going to jail?
Yeah. And that was crazy because even Todd Blanche, our deputy attorney general, he was like, it's not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein.
Right.
What is going on? What do you mean? You're partying with somebody that was a pedo.
Well, I mean, to his point, it isn't a crime to party with a person. That's not the crime that he was committing.
Fair.
Like the crime that he were committing was like, having things that happen with, underage people. So yeah, it's not a crime to party with Epstein.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not a crime at all. But what was happening was a crime.
Where I'm looking at that is, yes, it's not a crime to party with a pedo, but how you don't want to look into anybody who was partying with said pedo?
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, at least just so we can get it out the way and check all of you people. And just like Russell Wilson popped up and said, hey, this is exactly what this is. This is what it's not. I got the explanation. I'm hopping out right now. And that's what I said. If I'm in those files,
100%.
or if I know Jeffrey Epstein, I'm letting y'all know right now. This is what the situation is. There's no, why are we talking about this?
Exactly.
Why do you guys care about this? What do you mean?
Exactly. And that is the reason why I think a lot of these people did what they said. I mean, that's in these things. There's no way y'all are not. There's too many files. It's too much information. There's too much footage. There's too much for me to not sit back and be like, bro, y'all didn't do this. No, y'all did. And for you to diverge everything, I wasn't with Epstein, or I wasn't. Dog, you look guilty. That's why I respect Russell Wilson for getting in front. Like you said, he hit it right on the head. No, but also to that point, if you did do it, why would you say you did it? They would never come out and be like, hey, I was in the files. That was me. Yep, I was with them girls. Yep, I was doing this. Yep, I was. Nobody is going to do that. I get why. It makes sense. It's a terrible act. You guys are sick, but you got caught. Time to fess up, player. Time to fess up.
Because it is the fact that people were saying, I never knew Epstein. I never did anything. And then they're getting caught in 4K in these DOJ drop, which some are fake and we don't know which ones are fake, but just know that wink, wink, some of these are fake and some of these are real and you don't know which ones, which is ridiculous. But like at the same time, after you have made it clear that you never knew Epstein, never talked to that man, never anything, and then there are emails with you in 4K, typing back and forth hundreds of times, thousands of times, a couple of times, whatever it may be. Why did you lie? You don't think that makes you look sus? And nobody cares? Like, America is just moving on. There are other people in other countries who are getting grilled right now about their associations with Epstein. I actually saw it on, I think, the BBC this morning, where I think in somewhere, Starmer, somebody was getting
official,
grilled. Right? It was an official.
Yeah.
Why isn't that happening here? This is crazy. But, we have our eye on this. In the meantime, another story that's not really getting that much attention is what is happening with Israel and Gaza. So there is an update, and we kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday. The Rafah crossing was reopened, and this is the crossing that's going to let people from Gaza into Egypt. This is a way to get out of Gaza that doesn't have to cross into Israel at all. Of course, there's still some security concerns since, what happened. And so now, Palestinians who are trying to make it through that newly reopened Rafah crossing say they're getting treated terribly by the Israeli soldiers who are out there. Mind you, this is kind of what they're dealing with here. This is a United Nations photo of Gaza. And there's a lot of areas that have literally just been blown to smithereens, which is crazy. And so some people, thousands actually, tens of thousands actually, people out there have health issues or just other reasons why they need to get out of there and get to some medical aid. And there were people also who left for medical aid or left for whatever reason who are trying to get back into Gaza because that's where they live. That's where they're from. mind you, some people are still living in tents, but they still are saying, like, this is my home. This is my land. This is where I'm going back to. This is where the rest of my family is. So we want to go back. So there are a few women who were trying to go back into Gaza through that recently reopened crossing who said that they were blindfolded, handcuffed, interrogated, threatened, and humiliated by the Israeli troops who were there trying to go after basically anybody who was trying to come in and run security. So they were doing this for a security check, which makes sense. You know, we've got to make sure you're not bringing in anything crazy, which they said that they weren't letting these people bring in almost anything. Like they took kids' toys, they took all electronics, they kind of just let them bring in like the clothes on their back and like maybe a bag. But yeah, they said that they were treated awfully.
Wait, so what's the I guess what's the gist of this Rafah crossing? Like what's the why? Why is it there? What's the purpose? The purpose is to get from, Israel to Iran, right?
Gaza to Egypt.
Egypt. So why? I don't know why it's there though. Is it
like
purpose
Gaza, they've always called Gaza kind of like an open air prison. It's like there were like millions of people who live there and not many ways out.
Okay.
And so this Rafah crossing was like a lifeline. Like they got to go into Egypt. They got to travel freely to an extent. And during the war with Hamas, Israel captured that Rafah crossing and said, cutting it off, y'all aren't coming in, coming out. Because remember, they were going after Hamas. They said, we're going to kill all the terrorists who did this to us, the terrorist attack that happened in October of 2023. So they captured that, and that cut off that Rafah crossing. So humanitarian aid couldn't get in, people couldn't get out, people who had gone couldn't get back in. And so this was something that was tied to the ceasefire. They said, hey, like, as part of this ceasefire negotiation, the fighting is supposed to stop. You got to open up that Rafah crossing to let people in and out again. And Israel said, well, we're not going to do that until we get all the hostages back. Some of these hostages were like under rubble. So that finally happened last week. They just reopened the Rafah crossing. And this is the account of a few people who are saying, we're trying to get back in now that it's reopened, and we're getting blindfolded, handcuffed, and just, humiliated. One woman said that she was questioned about Hamas and other matters in Gaza that they had no connection to and didn't know about. She said that they pressured her to act as an informant for the Israeli military, and she was just trying to go home to her family. She said there was no beating, but there were just insults and threats and psychological pressure. So, of course, Israeli officials were asked about this, and they said that they have no incidents of inappropriate conduct or mistreatment or apprehensions or confiscation of property by the Israeli security establishment known to them. And the other agencies that are kind of over that security process said that they just didn't respond to questions about that woman's allegations. So these are just allegations, but they're pretty serious allegations.
Very much serious. Very serious. What they're doing is they're playing government 101. And I feel like we've seen this before where governments have like created an uproar. Like think about the Red Scare and communism. Like everybody was a communist. That's basically what Israel is doing right now. Everybody is a Hamas agent if you enter in here without coming through us. It's one of those things that's like unnecessary. We obviously see what you're trying to do. And if you think of Rafah, it's like a border, right?
It's like a crossing.
It's a border. So people may not even be getting resources to Gaza because they can't get through this border. It's so sick and it's so sad. It's heartbreaking, actually.
There are actually pictures of just a bunch of humanitarian aid trucks on the Egypt side that aren't being allowed in either. They probably got to go through all of that. So, speaking of just the situation in Gaza, like if you can't get out to get aid and help and specifically medical attention, there are humanitarian groups who are there, but there are 37, like we were talking about yesterday, who are getting kicked out of Gaza for not giving up a list of their staff. They have international staff and Palestinian staff members, and there was basically a new regulation that went into effect that said, hey, you guys have to provide personal information about your staff if you want to be here. And some of these groups were saying, we don't want our staff to be intimidated or just get detained or just get attacked in any kind of way. And so since they didn't want to give up that information, they were basically told you got 60 days to get up out of here. And one of those groups, MSF, Médecins Sans Frontières, it's like Doctors Without Borders, but it's like in French or something. They were saying that they've been accused of having people who are secretly Hamas, but actually, parading as staff members for them. They denied it, but that's what Israel had said. And they have done a lot of work. In fact, we have a screenshot of some of the stuff that they've done out there. They said since the war started in October 2023, first of all, 1,700 health staff have been killed, including 15 of their guys. But that in 2025, they provided like 800,000 consultations. They've been birthing babies out there. They've supported 1 in 5 hospital beds. And this is just stuff that you can't replace in the situation that they're in right now.
So they're doing good.
They're doing a lot of good work. This is Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah, so why do they want to, I don't understand why they want them to.
Israel's concerned that there may be Hamas members in their staff members.
Oh, so okay. Now I get it.
So they're saying if you don't want to give us your staff list, you got to go.
I get it.
Because we need to make sure that none of them are Hamas. These humanitarian groups are saying they're not Hamas. They're just our staff members. And if we go, you're going to take a lot of people out who are able to care for the people who are there. There's like 20,000 people who are sick or wounded there. So
it sounds like they're the terrorists for trying to get them out and not help people out. That's what it sounds like.
You can't say that too loud now, Rondell.
Oh, my bad.
Don't say it too loud.
Oh, well.
People have been accused. I mean, it depends on who you ask. If you ask some people, Israel feels like they're doing this for security. You know, we're never going to let what happened on October 6, 2023 with that terrorist attack happen ever again. We're going to go to whatever lengths we need to go to kill Hamas and kill threats to Israel. Other people would say, you know, tens of thousands of people have died as you guys have been going after Hamas, and people have been accused of starving. People have been accused of basically not being allowed to have aid trucks go in and help people. So who's really the bad guy? It depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? Can tell you that the killing out there has not stopped either. That was also a prerequisite of a ceasefire. But the recent reports that I saw just this morning was that an Israeli strike killed 21 people, including 6 kids. And in that case, it was an Israeli tank shelling and airstrikes that killed 21 Palestinians in Gaza on Wednesday. And this is including a medic who rushed in to help the victims of the strike. And this happened in Khan Yunis. And the Israeli military said that they launched that strike in response to militants opening fire against Israeli troops who were operating near that line that they have that neither side is supposed to cross right now. And then an Israeli soldier was severely injured by the militant fire. So, you know, in response, 21 people die, including 6 kids.
Yeah, so from what I've heard is Israel has really strong regard for their people's lives.
Totally.
Like, they're really serious about even just getting dead bodies out of Israel.
Totally.
Like, they want dead bodies. They really hold like life dear to them. Jewish life or Israeli life. I'm sorry. Israeli life close to them. So that's why I guess is that what you was basically saying? Like they took 21 lives because one person got shot?
That is what the reports say.
That is crazy. But it's just how they do things over there, I guess.
You know, an airstrike doesn't have like a name on it.
Yeah.
You know?
You just drop it and go.
So it's like anybody who's in this range is going to get it, you know, whether that's a man, woman, or a child.
Right.
And you know, for them, that is a reasonable response to what they said was an attack that happened on their guys first.
That is the definition of get it back in blood. That is the definition.
I mean,
no,
pools of blood.
That is the definition,
Pools
bro.
of
That is terrible.
Yeah, it's sick.
It is hard to watch, you know. It's hard to sit here and watch all this happen and kind of feel a little helpless, kind of feel like, you know, is anybody going to do anything to make sure this is safe for both parties?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm sure those Israeli soldiers want to go home to their families. And I know for a fact these Palestinians, a lot of them have nothing to do with this anyway and aren't terrorists and they're just dying anyway. So, you know, what do you do here? It's pretty nuts. So we will keep an eye on all that for you, especially because, again, I feel like the coverage on this is kind of dwindled.
Yeah, it hasn't. Yeah, it kind of died down a lot, actually. Like, you know, it was like, you know, freeze, you know, the whole, yeah. So it's like, it died down a ton.
Yeah.
To where that was a huge thing. And now people really don't talk about it.
Well, here at home, another crazy story that everybody is talking about. Apparently, Jill Biden's ex-husband is accused of murdering his current wife.
My dog. Jesus.
What? Yes. Mind you, he is 77 years old, his current wife, Linda Stevenson, is 64 years old. So this is another one situations where I'm like, you guys are too old. Like, you guys have lived all this time.
You want to go to jail now?
Like now?
Now you want to go to prison? Okay.
Now.
All right.
So police say they responded to a domestic dispute call, and this actually happened back on December 28th, and they found Linda unresponsive inside the living room. And officers went in, they tried to save her life, but it just didn't work, and she was sadly pronounced dead right there at the scene. So they did an extensive investigation for weeks, and finally, yes, a grand jury just indicted Stevenson, her old husband.
I wonder if he like harbored hate or anything like that, because if my ex left me and then got with a president or somebody that was gonna become a president, I'd be ticked off.
You know
bro.
what? I didn't even think of that,
yes,
brother.
bro. I'd be completely
I didn't even think
bitter,
of that.
completely jealous. You can't leave me and do better.
Do way better.
I mean, way better.
Upgraded. Upgraded.
This is levels to it. And you just broke the barrier. Like, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he said, I can't take out Joe. I'm gonna take out you, girl. I'm taking he took all his aggression out on that woman, which is terrible, bro. Which is terrible.
Allegedly.
That when I heard that, I was like, dang, I wonder if he was just like a bitter person because of that. Like, the whole time he's just thinking then you're hearing about him every day, like almost at one point in time, because he was the president and the vice president. So you're hearing about this man
That's right.
constantly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Every time you open a newspaper, you're seeing your ex-woman's name in the paper every single day. I'll be sick, bro.
Oh,
I'd
for
be
sure.
sick.
I didn't even think of that now that you say that, bro.
Bro, I'd lose it, bro. I can't even lie.
Yeah, I would lose it too. I would lose it too. I would be the biggest hater, bro. Oh my gosh. You know what? He probably wasn't even a Trump fan before this. We don't know this man.
Yeah.
What if he wasn't even a Trump fan before this? And then as soon as he was like, yeah, I'm voting for Trump. Voting for Trump. Voting for Trump.
You know what? But Joe Biden did get so much hate that he was probably sitting back like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or he might love Joe Biden. He could be totally innocent in these streets.
Yeah, he could.
You know what I mean?
Low key.
I doubt he voted for Joe Biden.
I would
not vote for Joe Biden.
If that was my ex, man, I ain't voting for that man. What, bro?
He did not vote for Joe Biden, man.
I'm gonna try to figure out a way to vote 5 times for like, so I can vote against him. What, for sure? That's wild, though.
No, yeah. The most random thing I've heard. And we've heard a lot of random things lately.
I wonder how she feels about that.
I know.
I wonder how she feels about like her ex being an alleged murderer. Like
besmirching her good name.
Yeah.
Because now everybody's saying Jill Biden's ex is doing, and she's like, dang, I ain't thought about this man in years. I have been busy.
Like, when was the last? So when did they? So does it say when they got a divorce? It doesn't say.
I think they got a divorce 5 years after dating. Like they met when they were like 18. Yes. She was like 20-something years old.
Okay.
And then they got a divorce 5 years after their wedding.
Ancient history.
Ancient. Like, I ain't never heard of this. I ain't even thought of this man. Or what? Or what if? What if this is just my own conspiracy brain works? What if they were secretly talking on the side?
Oh, nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if, you know what I mean?
No freaking way.
And then Jill was maybe, trying to see him on the side.
No,
I'm just saying, this is how my conspiracy brain works. That's just how my mind works.
Jill Biden is kind of the baddie as far as,
she is kind of cute, low key.
Seniors. She is senioring.
Yeah.
Okay.
How old is she? How old is Jill Biden now?
I don't know.
She up there though.
All right.
She is up there.
74.
She's 7. That's a.
Listen.
Hey, hold on now.
Pull that up just one more time. Just so
see.
Y'all can see how a 74-year-old operates in this country. Because you're not going to do by Jill B.
Yeah, that is
like that.
That is definitely not no spoiled milk right there, boy. That is
crazy. She kind of has a type though. She kind of has a type, though.
All right, you know what?
I'm just saying, she kind of has a type. She kind of has a type.
So unserious.
It's very unserious.
But you know who is serious? Trump is very serious about building this ark in America. So he randomly dropped a photo of India's ark on Monday saying, India's beautiful, triumphal ark. That's all it said. And he said that ours will be the greatest of them all. That's it. And everybody was like, what is he talking about here? Because he has been mentioning an ark. In fact, there is that ark that everybody knows that's in France. And that's the Arc de Triomphe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, Trump is saying that he's going to literally make an ark of Trump.
Mm.
And these are some of the renderings that we've seen him post about this. I think he's very freaking serious. He says that apparently he's done an interview with Washington Post where he says that he would like this Independence Arch that could rise as high as 250 feet.
Good God.
So that would be, I mean, major. If you know Washington, D.C., that's huge. The White House is about 70 feet. The Lincoln Memorial is about 100 feet. So a 250-foot structure would be crazy, would tower over both. Both of them combined.
Yeah.
And he's going to be hiding all the Epstein files right in that ark. All the Epstein files going to be right in that ark. I know why he building that ark. He built it so he can start hiding stuff in there. He ain't slick.
I think he said, though, he was like, oh, this is going to be the biggest ark because this is the best country in the world. So he's like saying, hey, bro, this is going to be the best.
Why are we in such
because
competition?
we the best.
I want to know who's... Yeah.
Why are we so competitive? Why is he so...
Woo, America. It's America over here, man. Nobody
right.
could be better than us.
At the same time, what if we had the lowest grocery prices of anybody in the world?
Yeah.
The lowest prices housing.
Free healthcare. Free education.
Free college.
Free...
Better than anybody in the world.
We the best ever, man. America's so great, man. Oh, my God. Bro, we suck, bro.
But we could have an arch. We could have the best arch.
Go right up under that arch, take a picture, and keep moving on with your life. That's it. That's all you're going to get.
And honestly, it would be for people in D.C. and tourists.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be for... is anybody taking a trip to go see an arch?
Hey, man, what y'all doing today? Y'all want to go to the ark?
Y'all
drive
6 hours?
Y'all trying to go to the ark? No. Nobody's going to your ark, bro. Like, no.
But I don't know if you've noticed, they've been doing a lot of renovations at the White House. And I ask, who is funding all this stuff? They renovated a bathroom, put marble all up in and through it. Look at this.
Crazy.
That's a nice bathroom, though. I ain't going to hold you.
It's a nice bathroom. He did a wonderful job. They don't call him the builder in chief for nothing.
Yeah,
he knows how to build a bathroom. Not a bathroom. He knows how to build. I'm never going to see that.
That's noise.
I mean,
beautiful.
We're looking at it right now, so, I mean, we do.
This is it. This is our interaction.
We see it.
You at home, this is the closest you're going to get to that bathroom.
That's a basic toilet, though. That's a basic toilet for such a nice room.
Where's the bidet?
Right.
To the naked eye, it is. That toilet rise up by itself, go down by itself, probably warm your butt. It probably do all kinds of stuff.
Wait till we tell you about the arch, or not the arch, the ballroom. We just don't have any time. So we're going to have to table that for another day. We do have a lot of Atlanta news coming at you, and we will be right back after this break.
A major move today. Hot 97 is expanding.
Hot 97 has launched a full streaming television channel.
Hot 97 is no longer just a radio station, it's now a streaming network.
Welcome to Hot 97 News. Let's dive into the news because the news has been newsing.
Hot 97 mornings with Merrill. We got Shiny Culture in the building. Leah Bell in the building.
Good morning.
And DJ Cass One.
You know what it is. You know how I get down with the Funk Flex energy, baby.
Let's get it, Flex.
Nobody don't want no smoke.
Wow, it got spicy real fast. Here for it all.
We're here for it all.
Let's go. Mariah Carey takeover.
The people made it happen.
Yeah.
I'm coming around to all the classrooms and we turning up.
Good morning, students. My name is Wale. Aren't you supposed to be in class? Oh, man, you supposed to be in class, man.
Rihanna has become a true worldwide icon.
Congratulations on the job. We listen to Hot 97 every day. We can't wait to hear you guys even more.
Hey, let's go!
Get ready. The legend is on your screen. Funk Flex, the man who defines hip-hop, is bringing the heat from the radio booth to your TV.
Where my camera at? That's my camera? All right.
The biggest beats, the hottest freestyles, and that classic flex energy.
Bars are back.
Now in your living room. Don't just hear it, watch the movement. Funk Flex, now on Hot 97 TV, Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m.
Welcome to Hot 97 News Atlanta. First, here with Rondell with 2 N's.
What they do? Give it up to you.
And Million.
Hey, the fact that this is a reality.
Brand new live news show. I'm your host, Lana Harris. There is so much going on in this country and in this world.
Civil unrest. Nobody's going to trust that. Any of
This sounds, like I said, it sounds good.
Yeah.
It does sound beneficial.
You are watching Hot 97 TV.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hot 97 News Atlanta. This is a brand new live news show where we talk about all the biggest stories across the city. It is Wednesday, February 4th. I'm your host, Lana Harris, here with Rondell with 2 N's.
You did.
And Million.
Hey.
And it is time for your 1 minute of black excellence.
Yeah.
Here's Rondell with 2 N's with that.
Now listen, it's 1 minute of black excellence. Today's fact is Fritz Pollard was the first black head coach in the NFL history in 1920. And he wasn't just coaching. He was playing at the same time. Basically, he is the first coach to say, if you want it done right, I'll do it myself. All right? He then goes on to win a championship with Akron Pros, and the NFL takes it away. And the NFL's takeaway was, okay, can we not win? Because that is crazy. And he quietly shut out black players for years. And you know what that means? Nothing says American sports history like watching a black man make history and then immediately hiding the receipts. And that is your 1 minute of black excellence.
Amen, brother. I like that.
That's funny.
I love that.
Yeah. So I was saying, what sport have we not dominated in? And then somebody brought up hockey. Let me list a couple of hockey players we got out there right now. Quentin Byfield, shout out to him. LA Kings. Darnell Nurse, Ed Monton.
It's a real black name, boy. Darnell. Darnell, boy. That's a black name.
In hockey.
And then we got one more, Seth Jones.
Oh.
Okay.
Seth might be biracial, ain't he? He need to sound.
What about Evander? Evander Kane?
Okay.
Shout out to the black NHL players, man.
Right.
Yeah, and we take over cricket. We take over anything you want us to take over. We will take it over.
Amen.
I do think it's crazy that he played at the same time. Man, y'all can't do this.
Yeah. That is so wild. That is so wild. He was just like, all right, man, we gonna run X40, right? 3-5. All right, you go in. Okay, I'm gonna go in
and
too.
I'm going in. Yeah,
I'm gonna go in too.
Yes.
That's lit.
Okay, well, hopping into the news this morning, more people just got busted for human trafficking in Metro Atlanta. What is going on? This time it was in Sandy Springs.
Yeah, this happened, like you said, it happened in Sandy Springs. So this is 8 people that ended up getting arrested for human trafficking. So the operation did take down in Sandy Springs. The operation was called Operation Sandy Springs Guardian. Investigators conducted undercover operations targeting, soliciting of prostitution. All 8 individuals were charged with solicitation for illicit sexual acts. So in Georgia, solicitation means requesting or agreeing to pay for sexual acts, and you do not have to actually have sex or exchange money to be charged for this. So these guys were basically Johns. You like you explained earlier. Can you explain again what a John is?
It's a trick.
Well, what's a trick?
A trick is a John.
And what's a
essentially, it's how do I say this being PC? It's a guy that pays for acts, but he gets they overcharge him. Like if I was to see you out in the street and be like, oh yeah, he looked like a quick lick. You know what I mean? I usually only charge 50, but for him I'm gonna charge 150.
Oh, so something that you can like scam almost.
Essentially.
Wait, but how does this play into this?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too.
What do you mean?
How does this play into
What does that have to do with anything?
These are Johns?
Yeah, these are Johns. So so what they're saying is it is a sex trafficking thing because they're participating in actually buying.
Oh, they're the ones doing
they're going
okay,
out there to try and buy the, sexual workers and things like that.
Oh, and they got ended up getting caught.
Yes, they ended up getting caught doing that.
I see. They were actively trying to hire a prostitute, or they communicated intent to pay for sex.
Oh, then
Yes.
There we are.
And everybody in that picture looked exactly like that.
Can we go back to it?
Go back to the picture real quick, Will. Yes. Look at the guy up top on the second guy on the top. Come on, brother.
Dang,
yeah.
man.
I mean, not the
You know what?
Profile
these people are innocent until proven guilty.
I didn't say they. I didn't say they did it. I just said if they were to do it, that's the look that I would be looking for right there.
Now, I tried to do some digging and seeing how this operation worked. I couldn't find anything yet because I think it's still ongoing. They're doing this all around Sandy Springs and the Metro Atlanta areas. But I'm thinking, like, how do you go about getting like a John Cott? Like somebody has to go undercover, correct?
Yeah, I'll show you. You just go to MLK Drive. Show you. I can show you exactly where to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, according to police, these types of stings are designed not only to enforce solicitation laws, but also to disrupt trafficking networks by reducing the market for illicit sexual acts. So they're trying to stop the market. I didn't even know it was a market, but. No, I'm just saying, like, Atlanta has a booming. Wow, that was gonna be crazy. That was gonna be crazy. But yes. But Atlanta ranks really highly when it comes to sexual trafficking.
This is true.
It does.
And it's really unfortunate because I was doing some studies on it. Sex trafficking data in Georgia, a 2024 analysis ranked Georgia second highest in the United States for human trafficking victims.
Second?
Yes.
What's first?
Per capita.
Is it
I
Chicago?
didn't see what first was. Actually, Nevada.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
I can see
Vegas.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's just the 2024 analysis, and the Federal Bureau, the FBI, has named Atlanta as one of the top 14 cities abnormally high rates of human trafficking.
Yeah, I think it's because of the airport, for
Oh,
sure.
1000%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's the world's busiest airport, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, bro. You know what's crazy? And this is a true story, bro. I saw this dude one time in the airport with this little girl, and you ever see somebody and they just like if you've seen a white baby with a black parent,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like okay, that's maybe they're adopted. But dog, the person that I saw with this little girl threw me all the way off, But I don't know what about me. I couldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my body froze up.
Yeah.
But it was clearly, I'm like, hey, bro, that don't look right to me, bro.
Interesting.
That does not
Why?
look right.
What happened?
So the dude was dressed really, really nice, and the little girl was dressed really, really bad. Like you know, just had pajamas on with holes in them, like it was dirty. Like it looked like she had been passed around, like not passed around like that, but passed around from state to state, whatever the case may be. So it looked like she'd have been moved a few times, and they just never. So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yo, that don't look right,
Yeah.
bro.
So it didn't look like it was her kid. Like, was it a different color kid? Was it a white man and then like a?
So the dude was like not Middle Eastern, but you know he wasn't white. He had some
ethnic.
he was
some way.
ethnic. Yeah. But the little girl was a white girl. Yeah. It was a little white girl. Yeah.
Interesting.
Bruh, threw me all the way off, dog.
And it's crazy because they tell you, see something, say something. And I've always wondered, what would that look like?
What would you do?
And then what would I do? I guess you were supposed to like flag the nearest officer and then like try to follow, but you'd have to then follow them around and then look for an officer. And then you don't know if you're just, profiling.
100%.
Yeah, man.
And I'm always in the mindset of mind my business. That's why I'm. We've talked. Mind your business. Why you in other people's business? You know what I mean? So my mind was like, bro, I'm not gonna say nothing. And it's also a scary thing to see that, bro, because you don't know what's really going on, and two, like if I go up and approach this man, what's gonna happen?
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Well,
yeah, bro, that was kind of nerve-wracking.
In situations like that, you're just supposed to report them. You're not supposed to actually go up to them and address them. Because like you said, you don't know if they're right or wrong, but you can have the authorities to go check on
For
them.
sure.
So if you like you said, see something, say something. See something, say something. So yeah, these 8 guys was John's basically, and now they're arrested. So good for them. Yeah. But I brought this all up because it was interesting. Georgia lawmakers have introduced a legislation that would significantly expand the scope of crimes eligible for capital punishment. So they're trying to give capital punishment to people that participate in sexual trafficking.
Really?
They're
Yes.
talking about should people get the death penalty for human trafficking. That's what Georgia
Oh,
lawmakers
okay,
are
okay,
weighing
okay,
right now.
okay.
Right, right. So House Bill 1154 would make human trafficking for labor or sexual servitude eligible for the death penalty. Under current Georgia law, the death penalty is available for crimes such as murder, rape, armed robbery, kidnapping, and treason if aggravating circumstances are proven. So we do give the death penalty out in Georgia, but typically we only give it away to people that have committed like murder or crimes against people, as in like some where people actually have lost their life.
Well, you just said rape, armed robbery, kidnapping,
Right.
and treason. I actually didn't know that you could get the death penalty for rape
Yeah.
or armed robbery or kidnapping, actually. I didn't know that.
Here's a wild part, bro. They don't give enough sentence, like enough time to people that do those certain. Like you'll get more years drug trafficking than you do sex trafficking or rape. You might get 10, 15, 20 years for those. But drug trafficking, bro, they giving you life plus some, plus this, plus that. Bruh, the system is so backwards to where you can get more time being a sex criminal versus being a drug trafficker. Drug crimes, getting paid. I mean, you're getting sentenced way down the road. Way down the road, bruh. But for these, it's all, I'm not gonna say it's a slap on the wrist, but it's definitely not as much as you would if you were a drug dealer or things like that, bruh. It's crazy.
So even when it does come to the rape like crimes and things like that, typically it would have to result in somebody losing their life in order for them to even be like considered for the death penalty. So this bill is like kind of new and it's different when it comes to the court scene, because they're actually saying that people would be allowed to be put on the death penalty for a crime that may have not even like ended in somebody dying.
But that's why I'm a little confused, because this says under current Georgia law, the death penalty is available for crimes such as murder, rape, armed robbery, kidnapping, and treason if aggravating circumstances are proven.
Right.
So if it was aggravated rape, can they get the death penalty? That doesn't mean anybody's dead. That means somebody was
They
raped.
could, but it's one of those things where it's like they typically don't, because people, if nobody's life was taken from it, they're not gonna take it to the death penalty. They may give them life, something like that, but they're not typically gonna take it to the death penalty unless somebody already has lost their life.
Okay, question. Do you think that the death penalty should be given to somebody that has committed sex trafficking, rape, or any of these things? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, I do.
Interesting.
I think that is the lowest piece. I wish I can cuss on this show, but that is the lowest piece of scum that you can be, is that type of person to, want to rape somebody, want to, sexually assault somebody, want to traffic somebody, want to, anything to a woman, to like a kid. Yeah, you should die. Flat out.
Ooh, that's tough, because it's like, yes, I know how severe it can be. I think people should be getting life in prison, but I don't necessarily know. I'm like on the fence when it comes to the death penalty in general, because I just value life. I understand that they may have done something that could have possibly taken somebody else's life, but it's like, I don't necessarily know if we have the right to just take somebody's life just because we think that they're guilty.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in your head. Something happened. You got sisters, right?
Of course.
Something happened to your sisters. I got 2 sisters. Something happened to your sisters. Something happened to my sisters. What's the first thing? If something like this happened, your instinct kicks in. You're not thinking about, oh man, I don't want to take, bro, you want to kill that person, bro. That's where my mind goes.
That's fair.
If somebody was to do anything like this to my sister, my mind goes to, bro, I want to kill you. So it's like, why would I? This is happening to other people's sisters, in moms, and in cousins and stuff like that. I had that same mindset.
Yeah.
That same, regardless if it's my family or not, it's still it's happening to a woman or a child, bruh. I mean, I can't sit around and sit here and be like, oh man, their life, they deserve life too. No, dog, you don't deserve life, because you have no type of no type of moral stability to even think about this person's life.
Like regard for
regardless
life.
Regardless if you didn't kill this person or not.
Yeah.
I think when you give people death, though, that's kind of like the easy way out that they're going. Because I mean, shoot, if I was, God forbid, knock on wood, if I was ever in a situation where I had to choose prison for life or death, go ahead and take me out. Because I don't want to be constrained in a box for the rest of my life. I feel like that's suffering.
Well,
and that's me putting somebody in prison for life. You're suffering for the rest of your life.
I hear you.
You are on death row for a long time before they kill you. Like you're like in some cases, like 20, 30 years, you would be in jail, and then you just know by the end of this, they're killing me.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
So that right there is like a logical like mess around with you in your head, regardless. It's because it's like, yeah, I gotta sit here. I don't know when I'm gonna die. That's even more psychological warfare to me, is sitting in prison, rotting away, but at the end of this prison sentence, I don't get to leave or die on my own. No, I have to die by y'all. And when you tell me to.
This says the common range for death row is 10 to 20 plus years, but a lot of cases stretch 25 to 30 plus years, just depending on what it is. And, you know, when I was back in college, I did sociology of deviance. It's my minor was sociology. And they talked about why, or at least some reasons why death row is so long. They kind of want you to wear down over the years. Like if you were said to be guilty of whatever it was and you were going to be put to death and you had, you know, maybe like the date set is the next year, you might still be willing to like fight and oh no, I'm not going down. After 20, 30 years, you just like, man,
done.
You don't fight anymore. There's no, you know, unless you're literally fighting for your innocence. If you feel like, no, I'm not guilty of this at all. A lot of people are just like, you know, it's just time, you know, I'm not leaving anyway.
To your point, I'm looking at it right now. Willie James Pye, he was placed on the death sentence in the 90s, and he didn't actually get killed until like after COVID. So, right. So it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're going to wear down, but I still don't necessarily know if I would feel like happy at the end of the day knowing that somebody just like died or was killed because they killed somebody that I loved. I think at the end of the day, I might still hold the anger regardless of if they were alive or not.
I see, and the sad part about this is we'll never know, because I hope none of this ever happens to us.
Amen.
And that's the sad part about it is, yeah, we could say these things, but dog, nobody really knows what they would do, because your mind is not thinking like that right now, because you're not in that situation. If that situation was to happen, and I hope that never happens to none of us, bruh, we turn into a different person. Your mind clicks into a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, I don't want that to happen. I would never want that to happen to anybody, but it does. It is the most sickest thing, and I do agree with the death penalty. I agree with it for those folks. Forget them.
So this bill is just it's just offered up there. They're still going to be voting on it. It's not a law yet. And the main sponsor of the bill is David Clark, the same guy that wanted to change the Suwannee Mountains to the Trump Mountains. Y'all remember him?
Yes.
So he doing something, y'all. He doing something. He's trying to do something. He's trying to get something passed. He's trying to get something passed.
Well, come on, Trump Mountain guy. In these streets trying to, you know.
I take back my comments then. I said some mean things about you. I take it back. I apologize. Take it back.
In the meantime, in other news, a man was arrested for shooting outside a club in Atlanta after seeing his ex-girlfriend talking to a new man in the club.
Whoa. Now listen, now here's the thing. I've been jealous in my life.
Okay.
Not this jealous. Okay.
Not
Not this jealous. So look, Atlanta police arrested an armed suspect after shooting outside a Northwest Atlanta nightclub. The shooting occurred around 3:23 a.m. on January 17th. An officer was conducting a routine traffic stop when he heard multiple gunshots nearby. As the officer responded, a security guard from Vibe nightclub flagged him down. The guard reported that a man had been shooting at vehicles in the parking area. Now, the officers identified Michael Bowers, 44. You too old to be jealous. Now,
I just saw his picture.
Bro, he's
now they subdued. This is a picture from them subduing him. So they took the gun and they subdued him until the officers got there. So they pretty much just beat him up. That's what it looked like.
They subdued him.
That's what they looked like, right? So Bowers reportedly became upset after seeing his ex-girlfriend inside the club talking with another man. Police say he left the club, returned with the gun, fired shots at her parked vehicle. Dog, grow up, brother. You 44. 44. You doing stuff like this, bro. What? She must have been a bad mama jamma. She must have been bad for you to do this, bruh.
Now, when stuff like this happens, I wonder, like, the guys that, go to extreme lengths, they're typically not, like, attractive guys. I don't think guys are attractive in general, but I'm just saying, like, they don't look like they can pull for real. I'm just saying, they don't look like they can pull for real. They don't look like they got game for real. They don't look like they can, they appeal to a majority of women. So it's like, I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, she's such a good woman. She's just the only woman that gave him attention.
He probably got money. He probably, he probably got either some dollars. I'm telling you, bro, that girl was bad. You don't shoot up. Let me tell you that now, man. You don't shoot up nobody's car after being that jealous. She had to be bad. I'm talking about what they was doing behind closed doors was probably some of the wildest stuff he done had in his life. So he was like, I am not losing that. No, I'm not losing that. Come on, girl. He can't. Don't be doing what you. No, come on. Yeah, bro. That's wild.
I don't think he had girls for real.
At the same time, like, I'm going to shoot up her car, allegedly. That's what you do in response. If another man might have shown up with flowers. Another man would have shown up with, like, some food. Some food. You show up with some food, and I'm, okay, let's talk. We can at least talk.
Yeah, well, Lana, that
on brand.
That's on brand like crazy, bro.
Lana, so you're saying if you was talking to somebody else and, you want him to show up with flowers and you're talking to somebody else and you want him to show up with flowers, that'll make you listen?
If this is my ex-man, I'm not with him anymore. I'm in the club, I'm talking to somebody else, and he wants my attention, it's dang sure not going to be because he shot my car up.
Yeah, but showing up with flowers ain't gonna work either. Yeah. Fellas, just let it go. I'm telling you. When
you see terrible
like
advice.
This, there ain't no fighting.
No.
There ain't no trying to get back with her.
Mm-hmm. Terrible advice.
Once she leaves, once she's out of there and talking to somebody else, you just gotta let her go.
Come on, fresh and fit. Let's go, baby.
Literally.
Come on, baby.
Terrible advice.
I'm not trying to be fresh and fit.
Terrible advice.
I'm not trying to be fresh and fit,
but you just are.
There's billions of women out there. My woman is very special to me, though. I will say that. I think that.
Okay.
I think
talk to him, Lana.
Okay.
Get him, Lana.
So if you break up with her, or she breaks up with you, in fact, she breaks up with you, she's in the club, you see her in the club, you see her talking to somebody else, you're just like, well, mother, people in the sea. I'm not fighting for you at all. You're not worth anything. It's all good. There's just more women out here. Like, I'm not going to have flowers for you. I'm not going to have anything for you. Just bump you. I don't care. I'm not fighting for you. Boy, men back in the day would like
stand outside your house with a boom
box.
What?
This is a 20-something-year-old man. You're letting tell y'all, don't fight for your lady. That doesn't matter. Okay. If she's worth it, you'll fight for her.
That is very true.
Don't shoot up her car because that's going to make everything worse.
How worth it could she have been if she's talking to another man? And who knows how long they were talking? Like, if this was my ex, how long was the breakup for?
If it
was just a week.
Wait a minute.
If she's talking to somebody else, I'm not fighting for nothing. I promise you, I won't.
You heard that? Millions girlfriend. You heard that?
Yes, baby. Look, if you are talking to, if you are talking to another man 1 week after we,
you don't know if it was a week. You made that up.
I'm just saying If it's 1 week after we break up, I'm sorry, I'm not fighting for you. And I'm going to die on that hill. I'll die on that hill. You going to fight for somebody like that?
I'm engaged. I would die for my fiance. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Talking in the club, if a guy just comes up to your ex-girlfriend in the club and is talking to a single woman and you just say, well, okay, I'm out of here. She wasn't ever worth it, and you didn't like her anyway.
Exactly.
You just didn't like her.
Baby, I'll fight for you.
As long as you're
my woman, I swear to God, you know how I do.
This is a controlling man. I don't want people.
If this is true.
Yeah, I don't want people to get these jokes taken out of context. This is a controlling man. If this is true, this is what controlling men look like. If this is true. He can't let go of something that he thinks he's possessed. And he's not that. Women are not your possession, fellas. You don't possess none of these women. We are all borrowed. But if we really want to think about it, we all borrow because we all have to die and our souls have to go somewhere. So this is a very possessive man. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Amen.
Y'all stay trying to get me in trouble at home.
No, brother.
Trouble.
Like,
You
this
said
is
it
crazy.
You said it yourself. We didn't set
What
you.
are y'all doing?
We didn't set you up for that.
I'm not crazy.
That's what you said.
We didn't set
Because
you up for
any
that.
other, I would want a woman to do the same. I would want my girlfriend to do the same.
You don't want her to lead. Just be like, oh, I'm done.
No, not I'm done, but have respect for yourself enough to see that if I'm just moving on without you, I may have not even cared.
Talking to another man as a single person in a club where literally everybody saw, he could have said like, "Hey, could you pass me a napkin?" We don't have no clue.
We really don't know.
Was he hitting on her? Was he bumping, grinding on her? Was he? We have no clue. This says talking in the club, and that's what's got you like, well, she's moved on. I'm out of here.
Yeah, this is a possessive man. That's all this is. This is a possessive man. This man is fully thinks that the girl that he once had is still his in his mind. He is very much so, Delulu land, like, hey, I own that. Girl, you can't talk to nobody if you ain't talking to me. Yo, I'm gonna kill you if you own. Bruh, dudes that think like this are dangerous.
So it's
Stay
a
away.
balance.
Stay away from
them.
I know you wanna leave me,
but I refuse to let you go.
Listen, they used to beg and plead
for your sympathy.
You hear me? Boy, now it's like, if I see you in the club just talking to somebody, I'm just gonna leave.
Crazy.
Don't fight for her.
Crazy.
Boy,
I'm just gonna
this
mind
is the
my
state.
business.
This is the status.
I don't want to hear it.
This
man.
is the status of
I don't need-
relationships today.
You're gonna beg and grovel on the ground.
Grovel.
You're crazy.
Never heard of
You're
grovel.
crazy.
Is that a word?
Maybe if I'm
Okay.
Come on now.
No. I just didn't know it was a word. That's
we
my fault.
gotta move on.
Okay, yeah,
All
we
right.
gotta go.
Okay, real quick, you are never gonna believe when a man was accused of stealing out a Family Dollar in Marietta that's landed him in jail without bond.
Yeah, man. Kevon Hyatt, 24, of Marietta, is accused of threatening a store employee with a firearm doing a theft at a Family Dollar. The incident occurred on January 28th. And according to the arrest warrant from the Marietta Police Department, Hyatt had a 9mm Taurus G36 pistol in his left front pocket. Allegedly stole frozen chicken strips and frozen French fries. My man was hungry, and he did exactly what I've been telling y'all to do. If you're going to steal from somewhere that's got food, make sure you steal food. That's all I got to say.
Listen, what he actually said was like, I think he walked up in there
He did.
and then just got the frozen chicken strips and the frozen French fries and tried to leave. And then it says that when he was confronted by the store manager, another employee standing behind her, was there as well. And he said, "You want to see my gun?" It's as if like, you want to pay for that?
Yes.
You want to see my gun? So that's what they're considering, an armed kind of robbery here.
My man was hungry. He was hungry.
That's crazy.
He was hungry, wanted some chicken strips and fries. Probably, you know what I'm saying? And he said, look, I'm about to go get some chicken strips and fries. Y'all listen, take notes, because I don't recommend this stealing from anywhere, but all y'all that like to thief, bruh, at least grab some food.
Don't steal.
Don't steal.
Don't
though.
steal.
Don't steal.
Don't steal.
But grab some food.
And it wasn't technically an armed robbery. It was robbery by intimidation is what one of his charges was. And without bond for chicken strips and French fries is kind of crazy to me. A little bit.
It's wild.
You could have, he was kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Times is hard. But you know what? We have so much more coming at you. We'll be right back after this quick break.
A major move today. Hot 97 is expanding.
Hot 97 has launched a full streaming television channel.
Hot 97 is no longer just a radio station, it's now a streaming network.
Welcome to Hot 97 News. Let's dive into the news because the news has been newsing.
Hot 97 mornings with Mero. We got Shiny Culture in the building. Leah Bell in the building.
Good morning.
And DJ Cass One.
You know what it is. You know how I get down with the Funk Flex energy, baby.
Let's get it, Flex.
Nobody don't want no smoke.
Wow, it got spicy real fast. Here for it all.
We're here for it all. That's
Let's
it.
go. Mariah Carey takeover.
The people made it happen.
Yeah.
I'm coming around to all the classrooms and we turning up.
Good morning, students. My name is Wale. Aren't you supposed to be in class?
Where are you supposed to be?
Oh, man, you supposed to be in class, man.
has become a true worldwide icon.
Congratulations on the job. We listen to Hot 97 every day. We can't wait to hear you guys even more.
Hey, let's go!
Get ready, the legend is on your screen. Funk Flex, the man who defines hip hop, is bringing the heat from the radio booth to your TV.
Where my camera at? That's my camera? All right.
The biggest beats, the hottest freestyles, and that classic Flex energy.
Bars are back.
Now in your living room. Don't just hear it, watch the movement. Funk Flex, now on Hot 97 TV, Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m.
Welcome to Hot 97 News Atlanta. First, here with Rondell with 2 N's.
What it do? Give it up to you.
And Million.
Hey, the fact that this is a reality.
Brand new live news show. I'm your host, Lana Harris. There is so much going on in this country and in this world.
Civil unrest. Nobody's going to trust that. Any of
This sounds, like I said, it sounds good.
Yeah.
It does sound beneficial.
Welcome back to Hot 97 Atlanta. Clayco, we got to talk to y'all real quick. Because what is this? A grown man from Morrow was arrested for the threat that sent Upson Lee Elementary School into lockdown last week. Now what is this?
Yeah, this is Clayton County. First of all, I love y'all.
Same.
She's from, we both Clayco, you know what I'm saying, representatives.
Which is why we can.
Yeah, you know. So this is what happened. DeMarcus Dion Spivey, 31 of Morrow, was arrested Sunday in Clayton County. Authorities say Spivey made a hoax phone call claiming he was inside Upson Lee Elementary School with a gun. The call was made Friday, January 30th. The threat triggered a full lockdown at elementary school, which it should, while deputies searched the building. Now, law enforcement cleared the facility and lifted the lockdown. No one was hurt. What are we doing?
For what?
What are we doing?
What did I miss? Like, what was the point?
What was the point? I'm so confused, bruh. I am so confused as to what, like, why?
At 31?
You're too old to be playing games, bruh. You sitting at home bored, you know what I mean? Dog, go get a job or something, because you
got too much time.
You got too much time to be making prank phone calls, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe he had a daughter up there or something like that. I don't know, man. You want to play? I have no idea.
Yeah, because it says it hasn't been confirmed whether he had any connection to the elementary school. So deputies haven't released why the call was made or any motive here. So it really is just like, well, what were you thinking? Allegedly, because these are just accusations right now. But
boy, on the phone playing at 31 is crazy. You on the phone playing at 31 is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, get it together.
Grow up.
Grow up, bro. Grow up. So
that's millennials. He's a millennial.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one of
That's one of y'all.
Yeah, it's one of it. Yes, it's one of
Bro,
mine.
Y'all were eating Tide Pods. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
NyQuil chicken.
Yeah.
That was then. We remember y'all.
Yeah, let's be real.
But oh my gosh, we also have an update on that shooting that killed a Gwinnett County officer and injured another one at that hotel, which is just a crazy story. Had the whole community mourning and, honestly, very upset about this. Turns out the suspect was wanted. So this is a photo of that suspect. Remember, on the backstory, there were 2 police officers who went to that hotel that he was staying in on a fraud call. Somebody in another state called and said, hey, my credit card appears to have been stolen. It just rang up here at this hotel. Somebody must have used it. So officers showed up to that hotel room. The clerk said, hey, this is the room that this card was just charged to. They went to the room and addressed who police say is this man.
Right. Yeah. So they addressed him, and then apparently it escalated to the point to where so they found out that he had a warrant for his arrest. When they tried to arrest him, it escalated and ended up where he pulled out a gun and shot both of the officers, critically injuring one and actually killing the other. This man's name is Kevin Andrews. He has been formally charged in Gwinnett County with malice murder, felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault against law enforcement, and receipt, possession, transfer of a firearm. Now, Andrew had a long history with the law enforcement. There's some court records that even go back and say that this man has been booked 22 times. He's been arrested 22 times.
God, dog.
Yeah, and so he had missed a prior court appearance and had been granted bond in DeKalb County. Why are they even though the prosecutors objected to granting him bond?
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that a lot of people in the community are talking about. Like, how are they allowing somebody that has this history to be walking free?
Yeah, what happened to the 3-strike rule?
Chill. That hurt a lot of us. That hurt a lot of us.
I understand it hurt a lot of us, but what happened to that still doesn't, I mean, the version of my question is, what happened to the 3-strike rule?
I would say at least it has to be somewhere between, when we're getting to, I've been arrested 10 times, 15 times, 20 times plus. It's like, why are we at least like offering bond to people like this? If they have a history of, I'm going to get out and reoffend, you know, the next time you do this, you're not just gonna you're gonna sit right here until we can take you to your trial, or until you plead guilty, or until just the court situation plays out the way it is going to. I think part of the problem, and this is just a guess, I think part of the problem is that we don't have the space. You know, in Metro Atlanta in general, a lot of these jails are full and understaffed or have staffing issues. And in some cases, they just say, we literally don't have it to hold you here. So just, you know, have bond and go. But that is obviously a problem for the community as well. You know, when you get these same people, some people are just people who had a hard time, fell in a hard time. It was just 1 time, 2 times, you know, they did something and they've been reformed. But again, we're getting to 10, 15, 20 times I've been arrested.
Come on, man.
You got to sit behind somebody's jail.
For a minute.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Real. That's right. I wouldn't grant bond, but I wouldn't say like they get the 3 strikes rule. I wouldn't say that they go to prison for X amount of years because of that.
So what would you say?
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't give him bond. Actually,
what would you give him, the 30-strike rule?
You're right. You got a point. You got a point.
What are we saying? Like, dog, like
22 is crazy.
Bruh, 20, you talking about 22 times. Here's the thing. I've never been to jail a day in my life.
Yeah.
I know I have a bunch of family members that have been to prison, got a bunch of family members that have been to jail, whatever. And they've told me multiple times that jail ain't no place to be.
Yeah.
They will never go back. And they've been to jail multiple times. They said after that second time, they learned their lesson to the point to where it's like, bro, I'm never going back. So it would only take me one time to go to jail for me to be like, whatever I'm doing out here in the free world, I need to switch it up ASAP. I can go to jail for 3 hours and come out reformed. Like it ain't gonna take me that long to be reformed if you throw me in jail. I'm good.
That's why I think committing crimes and constantly committing crimes is more of a psychological thing as opposed to like a behavioral thing. Because some people, I don't know, I think in my mind when I hear this, I think that he had something wrong with him to the point to where he thinks he just doesn't acknowledge authority. He doesn't acknowledge rules. 22 times, mind you, he was already a felon at one point. He shouldn't have even had a firearm on him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's registering to him that he like rules just don't register to him. Consequences just don't register to him. I think that's a psychological thing as opposed to a behavioral thing. So we should be putting him in a mental institution or something as opposed to just sending him off to prison. He's obviously not learning his lesson.
This has been a whole conversation actually recently of what to do with people in general, especially like when it comes to reoffenders. But the idea of offering like a cash bail versus not having a cash bail. And that argument is that if you have a cash bail, then you have a situation where people have to pay some kind of money to get out of jail. And that's like a barrier to keep people off the street who might come out and reoffend. If they don't have the money, then they got to stay in jail. Other people say, well, that literally kind of just penalizes people for being poor. That means if I'm rich, I can do whatever I want because I can pay for it. But it would potentially get people off the street. I mean, it would be a barrier just by default. If you ain't got the money, then you can't get out of jail. And I don't know. I mean, there's been instances, I just looked this up. There's been a few instances actually where people have been arrested 70 plus times where people are wondering, how are they still out? You know, where are we failing where you can be, you know, after 10 times, after 30 times, after 40 times, after 50 times, after 60 arrests, after 70 arrests. We got somebody who was arrested 111 times. At that point, you know, I don't think you'd get a lot of argument from people saying you're just going to have to go to prison off of the amount of arrests alone. And then you're going to sit here and then figure out if you can come back to society and know how to act.
I just don't think that's really helping people. Again, how does one, like you said, Rondell, it only takes you one time. If you go to prison one time, you coming out, you know you don't want to go back again. But there's some people that psychologically, in my opinion, because I'm gonna do the research later, in my opinion at least, you know, it just does not register for them. If somebody is going to prison more than 10 times, that is something that's screaming, help me. That's something screaming, I need some mental help. Somebody needs to look at my brain. I need to be we gotta be more comforting to some of these people.
Did he go to prison more than 10 times or was he arrested more than 10 times?
Well, he was arrested more than 22. He was arrested at least 22 times.
I mean,
I don't necessarily know if he was in prison, but he was a felon at one point. He is a felon.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a convicted felon. So
I mean, a lot of people feel comfortable in jail, in prison. You got to realize that a lot of people do feel. I've had a conversation with my cousin, and he was telling me about a guy that he was locked up with, and the older gentleman was like, "Yeah, man, I've been here for 25, 30 years, but I like being in here because I'm safe. I am, you know, I know I'm gonna eat. You know, I ain't got no family out on the streets. Like, so a lot of people, it is a comfortability factor with them going to prison. Now, you know, with that being said, it's, you know, that's not the best way to get comfortable. You know what I mean? But it definitely is, like you said, a psychological thing when it comes to going back to jail. That's I've never met, dude, I went to the mental hospital for like 5 days. Bro, I don't never want to even be in nowhere near around nothing like that, bro. You dig what I'm saying? And that wasn't even jail, you know? So it's like, yeah, dog, I don't get it. I don't get it. Dude, that's a great, I just don't get it. I don't get why people want to go back. I don't get it.
But to your point, I also know people, if you are homeless, if you are down bad, you don't have any family, that is a shelter. You're going to get fed. You're going to probably have heat or, you know, whatever it is, because they can't have you in like, you know, sub-freezing temperatures. If it's that cold outside, you might commit a crime just to get somewhere for free, which is just a sad reality. So, you know, I don't know what this situation is. Again, these are all accusations and we'll have our eye on it, but it's just a shame. Yeah. It's a shame. You know what else is a shame? The former Atlanta Housing Authority Senior Vice President just pleaded guilty for getting Section 8 when she wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. So the Atlanta Housing Authority is an agency that administers public housing and Section 8 vouchers.
Yes.
Atlanta Housing Authority is the local agency. I mean, its main jobs just basically include, like I said, giving those vouchers out, managing public housing, and then they're ensuring that people are complying with the verification process. So they're checking like household eligibility. They're making sure you're not falsifying records, just to help people out. So the federal prosecutors are saying that Tracy Dennis Jones used her position as the senior VP, and she used her access to fraudulently obtain government benefits she was not entitled to receive. She personally applied for and received Section 8 benefits, and she allegedly lied or omitted key information like her income, her employment, and her assets when she did the process. Because in order to get Section 8, you have to go through some screening process.
Oh, yes.
She's the senior VP. She doesn't have to go through all that.
Who gonna scream me?
Yeah, exactly.
Me.
Facts.
So when you get in Section 8, they're giving you these vouchers. So she's just using these vouchers. She racked up 60 bands in fraud. 60 bands in fraud. Look at
$60,000.
$60,000. You don't think that's big? Or something? You don't think that's enough?
Yeah, not enough.
What? What?
If you're gonna do fraud, do it. Go all the way, bro. Like y'all, like 60 bands ain't nothing. If you're gonna go do it and get, bro, you're eventually gonna get caught. Go all the way. Go big or go home.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I feel it. So Section 8 typically goes to people that are less fortunate, of course. How much do you think that this woman was making as a senior VP?
Oh, I did hear you say that earlier. I won't guess.
I didn't hear him say it. A senior vice
As
president?
a senior vice president, how much money do you think she made like per year? What was her salary?
Okay, a senior VP. Now y'all gonna joke me because I don't really be knowing
That's
salaries.
true. You
like
don't know
that.
salaries like that.
So I'm gonna say 250,000.
250?
Senior VP. That's. I mean, when I hear vice president of
Atlanta
anything,
Housing Authority senior vice president, I would have put it around. I'd have put it around 150 actually.
150.
150?
I'd have put it around 150.
oh, okay.
150.
Dang, I'm way off. I'm probably way off. Right
Well,
now.
I mean, not really. I mean, because you don't know. Maybe in a different economy. I don't know.
Well, the Atlanta Housing Authority didn't hesitate to put the job back up. So here we go. 189,000.
I was pretty
Split,
close.
yeah.
I was pretty close.
Yeah.
Kind of right in the middle. Yeah, $189,000 for this position. It's posted on Indeed out
Wow.
there. We don't necessarily know if that's what they're getting, but as you can see, it says on the low end they're making $177,000. On the high end they're making $200,000.
202. Okay. What I say? I said 250.
250, yeah.
250. Yeah,
250.
Yeah, so that wasn't a crazy
Oh,
guess.
yeah. Okay. Word. All right.
That's just crazy though. Like if you're making all this money, why do you need Section 8 vouchers?
So you can keep the money. What do you mean?
Well, especially because she's also accused of submitting false applications for COVID-19 pandemic relief funds, engaging in mortgage fraud, fraudulently collecting those Section 8 housing payments. So it's like, to your point, people are struggling out here. And in some cities, and I don't know if that applies to Atlanta, some cities, there's like wait lists to get into these programs where you can get some kind of a house. The fact that somebody making $189K will plead guilty
Right.
doing this,
Crazy.
sheesh.
Listen,
Crazy.
man. If Section 8 housing was like kind of nice, I would go.
Section 8 housing can be nice.
Oh, man,
if you
hey,
apply to have
look.
your house, because I know a very nice house that
See?
someone put up for Section 8 because they would have guaranteed payments.
Come on now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a
What?
point. I think I had one, like I knew somebody that was on Section 8 housing, or they owned a Section 8 house. And they said they didn't like it because the people that actually would come through, even though it's, actually guaranteed you'll get some rent, the people there will trash your place up. Sometimes that's what they said.
1,000% they can.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not everybody because some people just want a nice, clean, safe house in a nice neighborhood. But some of those people, I've seen it. I have seen it because again, I know someone who put actually 2 houses up because they were thinking, oh, this is great in Metro Atlanta, by the way.
Really?
And they literally, in one house, there were roaches everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Right.
In the cabinets, in the bath, everywhere there were roaches. I've never seen anything like it. Because I had to go help because I knew this person. I was like, oh my God. And the other one, they painted the walls black. They had, all types of just crazy stuff. And it was like, just because you're on Section 8 doesn't mean you have to live like this. Especially if you're in like a nice neighborhood and everybody around you feels safe. What are you doing?
Yeah, they be cutting up sometimes. I'll say sometimes. But
Sometimes.
they be cutting up. And
Yeah.
when they cut up, it's
cut up.
expensive. It's expensive.
Yes.
So Jones admitted to conspiracy to commit theft of government funds, wire fraud, and credit application fraud, and her sentencing is set for May 5th, 2026.
All right.
Shout out to her.
She should have had more.
Yeah, should have got more. Shout out to
Shout out
her.
her.
Crazy.
Well, what do you think about this? In Jonesboro, they are decriminalizing possessing small amounts of marijuana.
That's my city right there. That's me. I'm from Jonesboro.
Come on,
so
Jonesboro.
Shout out to Jonesboro. Shout out to Clayton County, man.
Shout out, Clayco.
The city of Jonesboro Council approved the ordinance Monday night to decriminalize possession of small amounts of marijuana, which I don't partake in marijuana, but I think this is a great push forward inside of legalizing, marijuana. The ordinance applies to possession of less than 1 ounce. All right, 1 ounce. So don't be going out there
Right.
bit bagging it
Right.
now. You know what I mean? Just 1 ounce. Possession under 1 ounce is now treated as a civil offense, not a criminal charge. That means there is no jail time under the new ordinance. So violators may still may face a fine of $150. And if you can't pay that fine, community service. So I think this is amazing. I think this is definitely a push forward into where the marijuana space should be at already. It's 2026. Y'all are locking people up for stuff that grow in the ground, which is still crazy to me. God put this on the earth for you and me. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild. So, but don't get it twisted. Marijuana still remains illegal under Georgia state law. You know, despite the local changes, it is still illegal around Georgia. So under 1 ounce, you're good to go. And all they're going to do, they're just going, if you do get caught, they'll take it from you. They'll smash it in the ground. They'll call it a day. Now, this actually happened to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, me and my fiance, we were up in Dahlonega, which is the wildest place to be with weed.
Yeah, yeah.
And driving around, and we had, I think, she like under an ounce or whatever like that. And they just took us out the car, smashed it, kept it moving.
Do you think they like circled back and said, you know,
oh no,
we're gonna smash it and destroy it on the scene?
I mean, they took her, they made her go there and because I don't smoke or anything like that. So they took her back and they made her smash it all in the ground and stuff. Yeah,
dang,
wow, yeah. So it definitely is a thing for sure.
So I've gotten a couple of tickets in the past, and I've seen some of these people in other counties or other cities that has actually done this same thing. The ticket though is like crazy. I seen somebody, and you could double check me. I'll double check myself, but from what I've seen, I'm watching people get ticketed for like $750 if they do have it on them.
Well, under an ounce?
Yeah, under an ounce.
This just said 150.
This is 150.
150.
And if a person can't pay it, community service may be required. They're really just saying
but they don't care about you. Which they should have never cared about under an ounce or anything like that, bro. I'm a big fan of where the marijuana industry should be at, in my opinion. Like medicinal marijuana, all that. I think this, if y'all taxing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there needs the problem. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm a huge advocate of I don't call it a narcotic or drug because I don't think marijuana is a drug. I think it is a prescription in a sense, which is a drug. So I just just contradicted myself. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think marijuana should be legal in all 50 states, in my opinion.
So an ounce though, that's a lot. Like in compared to like a gram.
Yeah, in hindsight, it is.
Right, in hindsight, that's a lot. I don't think anybody needs to be having an ounce on them. And if you do, you should.
Well, they said under an ounce.
Right,
So,
I know, I get that. I get that, but you're saying like, this isn't it's decriminalized. Like still like, I don't know. I think it's just crazy. I think.
So do you think people need to go to jail for drugs?
Low key.
What?
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like, there's been studies on marijuana. I have partaken in it in the past, but I've seen the damages that it can have, and I've even seen medical doctors talking about how damaging it could be long term to your mental psyche. It causes psychosis. It does a lot that people just don't acknowledge. They claim that they're all good, but it's really messing your head up. And it just makes people lazy.
That's if you abuse it. Not all people be lazy. Weed is a medicine. We can be used medicinally, man. It definitely does. There are benefits of marijuana, bro. Like I can have this discussion with you all day.
Right, I get it, but people make it seem like marijuana isn't addictive also. And that's one of the things, like, it's like I've seen people be completely
but literally
addicted.
Anything can be addictive.
Thank you.
Right.
Working out
is
sugar.
Working out is addictive.
I know homeboys right now that I could call up and they say they can't eat without smoking first.
100%.
That is an addiction.
And you can abuse anything, though.
But that's anything. That's
right. So, I don't think it should be. I think you should go. Like,
should we get rid of working out?
I wouldn't say.
Should we get rid of swimming?
Or everything in the grocery store.
Like,
that's not fruit, vegetables, and meat.
I wouldn't say that we send them to prison. I would say that we send them to some sort of rehab. I don't think that is something that
for
should
having
be going
a little
on.
bit of marijuana.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's absurd. That's absurd. Do you hear yourself? That's absurd, dude.
Bro.
No way.
You know what? It's craziest to me because politicians were really the ones who decided that all this stuff was bad and banned and illegal, not real doctors. You know what I mean? Because there are doctors and scientists who want to study all types of different drugs. Even with psychedelics, like the research on that got pushed back decades.
100%.
Because politicians decided, oh, this is just bad and they're abusing it, so we must make this illegal. Where researchers were like, wait a minute, there might be some actual medical benefits to this. They said, I don't want to hear it. So politicians, who are you people to decide what the rest of us can do? You know what I mean? As long as you're not doing anything that is going to harm somebody else, then what are you talking to me for? If not, we got to ban every sugary snack that's
100%.
addictive, every salty snack that's addictive, all this stuff with chemicals that's killing you that's addictive. We got to ban alcohol.
Been
banned.
Been banned.
Again,
Bruh,
you
been
know.
banned,
So
bruh.
what are we talking about with marijuana? Now marijuana is like just the biggest bet. No, it's not.
No,
That's
it's not.
propaganda.
It's the craziest thing. Yes, you can be I don't think addiction is real, but like you can be addicted to anything, man. Literally anything. I think weed definitely has its benefits, and the more it's studied, the more we're gonna realize that it has. Bro, you can somebody that has tremors disease. I've seen this video. They smoked and medicinal marijuana, and the tremors went away.
And cancer patients.
Dog, this
takes
has
pain
benefits.
So when you're hearing that doctors have said that this could lead to psychosis,
Probably
long-term,
100%.
That what are we talking about?
So so can alcohol.
If you drink too much,
Thank
it
you.
can lead to
It can
all
lead us-
types of
it
things.
can lead us. I know. I'm a victim of it. I know it can lead to psychosis. You can turn into crazy person not being on alcohol and getting off alcohol. Dude, I'm trying to tell you, me personally, I don't partake in weed, but I do understand the benefits of marijuana, 1,000%.
Or that, like, there's a big bad wolf around every corner.
Yes.
So why are we just demonizing weed? You can demonize a lot if that were the case. You know what I mean? Just why does this have to be the one that's illegal?
For sure. Demonize them Cheetos that be in y'all hands, because y'all need to stop eating. How about that?
But to your
That's
point,
a lot.
like, people do think that weed, you can't, abuse weed, and you totally can. It can be because when you try to come off after you've done too much weed, it's very hard.
It is very hard.
And
so
children get a hold of it. People start. I know kids. I was a kid at one point. I'm not too far away from it. We was smoking.
Yeah, we all were. Yeah,
That's what I'm
100%.
saying.
people were drinking too.
It has long term. Okay,
You'd
I'm
have to
okay
ban
with
it all.
So
I'm
you're
okay
okay
with that.
You're okay with alcohol, but you're not okay
Bro,
with weed?
I'm okay with not putting out things that's damaging to people in general.
But you drink
Alcohol.
still.
I drink still because it's accessible.
Dog, what are we talking about? There's no way.
I don't think it's okay though. I just don't think it's okay, but I still partake.
Mill.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be completely fair.
That's not
How
fair.
is it
though.
fair at
That's
all?
not fair.
Because there's people that's seriously going through addiction. I'm sure that some of these people are sitting here like, dang, I
From
wish I could
alcohol,
stop
right?
this.
Are we talking about legal alcohol?
Marijuana. I wish I could stop this, but I can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's everywhere.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, okay. Why don't we just before we go, because we really have to go. But there was a father in Cobb County that was just charged after his kids missed too many days of school. I just want to know what y'all think about that.
Here's in the school system I've had. Well, let me just get to this. So
Okay.
one of the kids, 39 total absences.
Yeah.
Okay, 19 of those absences were unexcused for one of the kids, and then 30 total absences for the other kid. 15 of those absences were unexcused. Now, I just want to say this before we leave. A lot of children, and me and my mom work in the school system, I see a lot of these kids that are messed up in the child care. A lot of these kids, parents don't have ways for these kids to get to school. A lot of these parents don't have places for these kids to go. Like, they live in poverty. So
Yeah.
it is hard for your kid to get to school when you live in poverty.
Yeah.
The bus, all that's not an option sometimes, bro. So it's very hard. So I would have to empathize with this person just because we don't really know what he got
What's
going on.
going on? Yeah. He was released just over an hour later, but he was arrested and booked into jail, for that. So crazy stuff in this world, but that is going to do it for us. Thank you so much for rocking with us today. We will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
A major move today. Hot 97 is expanding.
Hot 97 has launched a full streaming television channel.
Hot 97 is no longer just a radio station, it's now a streaming network.
Welcome to Hot 97 News. Let's dive into the news because the news has been newsing.
Hot 97 mornings with Mero. We got Shiny Culture in the building. Leah Bell in the building.
Good morning.
And DJ Cass One.
You know what it is. You know how I get down with the Funk Flex energy, baby.
Let's get it, Flex.
Nobody don't want no smoke.
Wow, it got spicy real fast. Here for it all.
We're here for it all. That's
Let's
it.
go. Mariah Carey takeover.
The people made it happen.
Yeah.
I'm coming around to all the classrooms and we turning up.
Good morning, students. My name is Wale. Aren't you supposed to be in class?
Wale, where are you supposed to be?
Oh, man, you supposed to be in class, man.
Rihanna has become a true worldwide icon.
Congratulations on the job. We listen to Hot 97 every day. We can't wait to hear you guys even more.
Hey, let's go!
Get ready, the legend is on your screen. Funk Flex, the man who defines hip-hop, is bringing the heat from the radio booth to your TV.
Where my camera at? That's my camera? All right.
The biggest beats, the hottest freestyles, and that classic Flex energy.
Bars are back.
Now in your living room. Don't just hear it, watch the movement. Funk Flex, now on Hot 97 TV, Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 p.m.
Welcome to Hot 97 News Atlanta. Is here with Rondell with 2 N's.
What it do? Give it up to you.
And Million.
Hey, the fact that this is a reality.
Brand new live news show. I'm your host, Lana Harris. There is so much going on in this country and in this world.
Civil unrest. Nobody's going to trust that. Any of
This sounds, like I said, it sounds good.
Yeah.
It does sound beneficial.